Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 6 and 7 in my Revolutionary Girl Utena reaction series. Back here again today for Utena Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, very excited to be here. So housekeeping out of the way early. Why do I look like Rudolph? I was out in the sun and then didn't apply sunblock. That's the short answer. Short holiday type thing. I was away for a few days last week in the sun. I'm peeling everywhere, so if it looks like my face is like falling off, then it probably is some amount of skin from it anyway. And I already use a pretty red light for my lighting, so again, I've kind of got green on to try to balance it out, but it is what it is. Konosuba yesterday was a similar ordeal. Other than that, I don't think I have much else to say, so I'll go on to my major point, if I can get the right thingo. Yeah, this one. Hello YouTube comments. So, here's the deal. I'm not going to read these comments because I've already summarized them in a different thing over here that I'll frame correctly in a moment. But here's what happened last week. Basically, all of these comments here are about a pretty similar subject matter, and that is Mickey and my interpretations of Mickey and the discussion there within, and potentially my pretty simple takes. Not There wasn't a lot of alternative perspectives put into them. Let's put it that way. And I'll start with a little story. When I was a young fellow, uh, I used to not be able to admit when I was wrong. And it used to be one of my biggest flaws. I used to be very annoying. I used to be very good in school. So, of course, whenever I got anything wrong, it was somebody else's fault and blah, 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 blah. I've since stopped being a fuckhead. I've since stopped being a cunt, at least a little bit, so I can admit when I was incorrect. I think you guys have the correct interpretation here. So I want to individually thank Ikepika. Who else we got here? Ender Valentine. This is Isabella. Victoria is also in here somewhere. Yep, true. This is Leal from the Discord. Saint Yor. Purin Kun, Airwave 2K2, Fruit, Victoria's comments are up here, all three of them. Even this stuff, which I'm not really going to go into about the distinction between Mickey and Mickey. Just it's kind of this character here. Thank you, Nakanai JP. Pencil Sharp. I believe your name was Sergey. I did the Google Translate thing because it was in Russian. Thank you, Maximiliano Ramirez Romero, for your comment as well. I will take this stuff into account, but I incorporate some of this stuff for sure. Thank you, Saint Yor, again, and of course up the top we have rounding out with Annie with the Ikuhara commentary that I have not read. But thank you for providing it for those that wanted it regardless. So thank you to everybody that I just listed for forming whatever the hell this opinion over here is going to be. If I can find the button to put it on the screen, which is this one. Okay, we did it. Great. Okay, so here's the gist, and I've got quite a bit here because there was quite a lot of perspectives and evidence for what I had to say. So Mickey is not as noble as I potentially described him in episode 5. Just to recap last week, I'm kind of rooting for Mickey. I remember saying stuff like that. Like, he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. He seems like he has pretty good intentions for Anshi. And he wanted to kind of break down the thing. He wanted to revolutionize the student council and get them to stop focusing on this Anshi, Rose Bride BS. I thought all those were pretty positive traits. However, as people explained in excruciating detail, and they probably had to it, let's be honest, this is not entirely the case. So here's the major point summarized. It may not be as direct as Saionji, but he is still objectifying Anshi, right? He has to make up a scenario in his own head in which Utena would do something that she would never do in order to justify the fighting, by which framing himself as the hero, which is saving his radiant thing from the person that may steal it away. Now compare and contrast this with Utena, right? Who continually says that she doesn't want anything to do with this Rose Bride stuff, this Anshi stuff, right? But at the end of the day, still gets up to the dueling arena and tries her hardest and destroys anybody, right? Like, for whatever subconscious or conscious thing that Utena is activating in that dueling arena, for that to happen, we must interpret Mickey as being kind of dangerous for Anshi. Put it that way. That or Utena is a little bit more greedier than we know, but that's probably incorrect. Either way, back to Mickey. Mickey's delusions are shattered when Archie starts cheering for Utena as opposed to him during that duel. This delusion, this scenario that he's made up for himself about what Utena may do to Archie. And when that delusion is shattered is the exact same moment that he loses the duel and loses the delusion in his head that was fueling his fire for the duel as well, right? Despite this, he still vows to attain his radiant thing, which now we know is based off a flawed perspective anyway. So, what is this radiant thing that he keeps looking for? It is perfection, and whatever that perfection may symbolize. We'll see perfectionism as a theme for Mickey through a number of aspects that I'll explain later on. But let's go back to his original radiant thing. We have now got another perspective on it based off the end of the episode, right? We have Mickey's sister explaining what really went down, right? Essentially, she was rubbish at piano, or at least not as good as Mickey, not even in the same stratosphere. However, Mickey, I think, still maintaining a delusion of perfectionism in his head, still imagined that she was this glorious pianist, when in reality he's probably hearing his own playing and reacting to that. The entire premise of his radiant thing being shattered is almost delusional as well, right? Like, he sees it as a failure of his own masculinity, manhood. I couldn't be there for her to save her from the stage, when in reality he could have just noticed subconsciously that she wasn't as perfect as he thought she was. It's like Andy in Toy Story. You're not perfect, I don't want to play with you anymore. As soon as that delusion is shattered, I toss them away. I don't want to play with them anymore. Is it a little bit weird that it's his own sister and he's kind of estranged from her in that regard and it's completely one-sided? Yeah, it's really, really weird. I didn't pick up on that last week. Anyway, moving on to his perfectionism, right? It manifests in both good and bad ways, right? Being a perfectionist is good. It means you make a good math tutor, and it gives you a good in for a number of things. Even, remember when in episode 4, like Archie's being bullied by those girls and he steps in? That is the right thing to do according to a perfectionist, and it's also just the morally right thing to do. So that's fine too. However, of course, there are bad ways this manifests as well. Of course, we've talked about them. The ownership and objectification he has over Archie as a result, and wanting that perfectionism from her. I loved this from whoever said this, you know who you are. All of his radiant memories are framed in sepia tone, like they're a photograph, an idealized moment in time, not a reflection of the actual reality of the situation. Again, that one photo of them in the garden playing the piano, that's not reality for the sister. The sister's just kind of messing with the keys and Mickey's just better. Is that a perfect moment for her? Is that a formative memory for her? Probably not. But we get it framed in this way because we're through Mickey's POV a lot of the last 2-episode arc. Here's another couple things. The stopwatch. The stopwatch makes a ton of sense now if you consider his character as a perfectionist, right? I was thinking it was a little bit more, I was thinking pretty basic logic-wise, right? Where thinking, got the answer, right? Even if he is stopwatching his own thoughts like that, it still talks to a level of perfectionism that he can always reduce his times. He can always get better. And I think this was another comment that talked about Dreamer Scipio and Spira Mirabilis and that kind of thing, right? So lyrics to his dueling song, which is a non-diegetic piece of music that is playing, that is meant to kind of reflect the emotions of what's going on. Maybe I should investigate these a little bit more. Spira Mirabilis, hugely linked to golden ratio, which is basically a symbol for perfectionism, right? It's a mathematical constant that is considered perfect, hence golden ratio. Both linking to music and mathematics, which is crazy, considering that's two of the major links in this arc. The math test, which links Mickey as a tutor to the two of them initially, as well as music being, I guess, the impetus for all of this, right? Another interesting perspective I saw as well, compare Mickey's actions to the actions of Nanami, somebody who is framed, at least for now, as a straight-up villain. Okay, so in episode 3, we have Nanami putting together a batshit plan in order to make Anshi look bad, in order to keep possession over her own brother. Weird. But Mickey is essentially putting a plan in place, a delusional plan, to keep Anshi all to himself. Is that not pretty close to the exact same thing? I think it is. At least I think so a little bit, right? Here's another really important one. Does Mickey like Anshi? I know, stupid question. Of course he likes her. Or so he thinks, right? Or does he merely like, again, the idea of Anshi in his own head that resembles this radiant thing? Does he, in some ways, is he in some ways attracted to himself as a perfectionist? And is seeking perfection in turn, even if it's delusional perfection? And again, this is more of a overall question for the show and the premise of the Rose Bride and everything, right? We're not really stopping and smelling the roses and trying to find out who the real Anshi even is. Who does she even like in all of this? Does she like anybody? We should fight for Anshi and her inalienable human rights for a decision, but not with the pretense of you being my perfection and okay, I'm going to take you out of this system that imprisons you, only to imprison you again in my own system. That's no good. That's bad. Compare and contrast with Utena, right? Who seems cagey, seems like she's kind of pushing away from this whole weird situation in a lot of ways, but something clicks whenever she goes up to the dueling arena. That's weird. That's another thing to analyze. We're not talking about that here. But I think Day to Day really understands the real Anshi, right? Not surprised with any of the animals' shenanigans, right? Really, truly has her best interests in mind. Remember episode 3, goes away from Torga, who is, for all intents and purposes, in that moment, her prince, to do the right thing by Anshi, right? To don that prince costume, run in and save the day. Now, there is still time in the show for this to be re-examined and see if this is the right tact as well, but that will come with time. I didn't know where to put this one, so I just put it here. It's just another fun note. So Mickey's sister tells this elaborate story about the backstory behind Mickey and the Radiant thing and her first love or whatever the hell, right? That boy that liked her and blah, 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 blah. And all that friend can still think is how cool Mickey is. Isn't that kind of like me, right? I'm like, Mickey's cool. Even though, again, there's this whole other story over here being told by this female voice. Speaking of, let's move into why didn't I think of this? What gave me the fucking blinkers to just kind of like focus in on what I focused in on? And I got 4 total points here, but only really 3 fit on screen right now. But anyway, number 1, unconscious bias, right? None of us are immune to it. Even the people that were making the comments, you still have some unconscious biases there that may come out in different facets in life, right? Again, look at me. I am man, right? Potentially some of my unconscious bias was based on that. That doesn't mean I'm a fucking sexist asshole. It just means I'm somebody that doesn't stop and think at all the times where I probably should have stopped and thought about stuff. I don't know. Doesn't make me a bad guy. And if it did make me a bad guy, then I think a good guy move would be to acknowledge it that I was wrong and rectify, which is what I'm doing now. But it'll be interesting, right? I think the female perspective in the comments has been really, really welcome in this regard with this series. It's something I don't get a lot, and if I say some whack shit, please call me out on it. I like to have a discussion there, right? Number 2, Torga's influence. Let's not beat around the bush here, right? I do think that a lot of the decision there is based off Torga's straight up manipulation, right? Mr. Steal Your Sister came through and stole his sister and then said, hey, this could happen to that thing that you don't own. They could steal her from you. And of course, he's literally 13. He may be like, oh shit, he's right. True. I think one comment put it best. Hang on, where is it? It was a funny one. Yeah, this one from Victoria. This is not really framed well, but then's the breaks. I guess I should go over here and click the button. Yeah, this one. There we go. We should stop dueling. It depraves Anshi of her inalienable human rights. Okay, but what if Anshi's inalienable human rights let her make a decision you don't like? Oh shit, true. Where's my sword? So, again, what I'm saying there is Mickey not very smart. Because he's like 13. So again, I don't want to understate the difference between him initially going, hey, this whole system sucks, and then Torga's influence making it a little bit more objectifying for Anshi. Next up, he's 13, he's allowed to make mistakes, right? Does starting off a character in a perfect place just rob them of their chance for character development? I think, yeah, kinda. Again, I don't know the rest of the show. You guys do. Potentially, there is room for massive character development as it pertains to Mickey. We will see. And here's one I kind of still agree with, right? So, Mickey is still right. The system sucks. It imposes on her inalienable human rights. Would it be so bad if the system still stopped, even though he was there for the wrong reasons? It doesn't make him a hero, but he's further on the right track than a Saionji, or a Toga for that matter, I think. In this regard, let's compare and contrast to Utena and potentially be a little bit uncharitable to her. She's just wiping her hands of the whole affair right now, at least on a conscious level, not up on the dueling arena, right? Something switches there and it's weird. She wants to just, oh, okay, Archie's my bride or whatever. That's weird. I don't want to have anything to do with that, and just wants to walk away. Is Mickey standing up and giving a shit better in that regard? I'll leave it up to you guys. Let's put it that way. But either way, I've successfully yapped my way to a 22-minute recording already. 23 make that. So I think we've done our dash there. Seems like this week it's going to be a Nanami episode and then whatever the hell 7 is. So I'm looking forward to Nanami. I like Nanami. I support Nanami. And I want to see what hijinks ensue there. So that will be my goal here today, is to watch that. Either way, just some chill stuff before we jump in. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord, Discord. And yeah, jumping into episode 6 of Revolutionary Girl Utena right now. Righty, I have episode 6 of Revolutionary Girl Utena up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 27 seconds on this one, so please sync up accordingly. As always, have the picture-in-picture version in the description below for those that want it, and using the some stuff subset thing for Utena. Very cool. I'm going to give this a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Apologies for my voice as well, which is starting to go. We will change tact if my voice is, like, literally dying by the end of one episode, I think. It's weird, right? Because I was so sunburnt, it kind of, like, gave me a faux temperature thing, and I got a cold at the same time. It was super weird. And I've not been sleeping well. Anyway, nobody cares. Utena. I'm back home in my Utena zone. I wonder what we're going to do with Nanami. I wonder if it's going to be a little bit sympathetic, trying to give her some depth. It seemed like it was from the small bit of the preview that I saw last week. I still think there's a lot of room in the show for Anchi to be expanded out and see what she actually wants in all of this, or what the general premise is even all about. I don't know, she's in some armor there with like a lance. That's pretty cool. Sup? Hello. Walking home all alone. Like the shoes. Killing it. As always. My queen. Yeah. Some creepy guy. Yeah. This is very like horror. Interesting. Love the zoom here. Run away. This is already giving us some depth, right? At least a little bit, I think. That was cool looking too. Yeah? Who the fuck is that, though? No, please help me. He's still at large. Look out, Nanami. Um, yeah. Uh, Obviously obfuscating that person that we'll discover who they are later on. Gotcha. Some kind of stalker. Oh my god. Are you a cartoon character? Crawling on the table? Yeah, that's the only reason it could be. But what she was doing before it wasn't performative. It's actually happening. Okay, a bit of baseball. Love it. Yeah, you reckon? Well, I mean, she has. Yeah, we're the goons. We're the lackeys. Baseball? Yep. Perfect. Yes. Queen. Oh my god. I think she said sorry. I was about to rouse on her for not saying it. I don't think it was Utena. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, found the ball though. She's ready to fucking swing, and Utena does not give a fuck. Shh. Okay, Raiden says it. Sure, I agree. Someone that's not normally in the greenhouse. Okay, no, it's the boy. Um. Okay. What are you talking about? Well, that's obviously a um a miscommunication there. That's not what we think it is. But I'm more interested in what it is about. Are they talking about like a flower or something? It's something stupid. I wonder. What the fuck? Oh, that was really cool framing. I will kill my sister so I can have a relationship with another girl. Maybe Mickey's not the only one that's delusional. Yeah. You got anything for me? Nanami? I can't believe you decided to kill me. Baka. He's gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, bug. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, well, that means that she's now all alone? That also looked gorgeous. That's a scary looking horse. Why is there a horse in the classroom? Huh? Okay, who will save her? Another boy? Yes, milady. Tips Fedora. Alright, that guy's the killer, right? What a cool guy. He saved her from the horse. Hello, Mitsuru. Mitsuru's ringing a bell. I don't know why. Perchance. Shh. Okay, she loves it. There's many a prince at this school. Curry flavor? How young does the school go? I don't think so. He's got that shit on, though. Full tracksuit? I don't think it's any of the teachers, my dog. They had a uniform on. I remember. There he is. But in the Flash thing, he had, like, brown hair. Weird. Okay. Okay, palette. Oh. Short boy. Gotcha. I was gonna say palette swapped Mickey. How old is this child? Bad touch? Why are we activating the duel? Oh, Eurocamp reference. Extreme Eurocamp reference. They're so cool. It's alright, just mix it with the stuff. You're insane. Huh? What do the puppets mean? Okay, they weren't activating a duel. It was more like, just this is the time of the episode that the Shadow Twins are going to speak. Was that an actual pun that they said curry favor and then curry flavor in the curry from the camp? What am I talking about? I don't know. Okay, bad touch. You can't do that. Utena, focus on task. We need you here. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. We know. Like this. Like parsley. I like parsley. Want a bit of curry? Hell yeah. Yeah, because she misinterpreted bug spray. They're just chilling. Ironic. Is everyone in the show just delusional? Do you have specific tennis wear? You're not allowed in here. Huh? Just cheat. He's a simp? Is that what we have go- Huh? What is he doing here? Yeah? You gonna react at all? No one asked. Also, it was a pretty good joke there, too. Yes. Yes. Why don't you take no for an answer? Teleports behind you? I've got no doubt that he will. Oh, cute, they're like harmonizing. He will wreck these fools. They're fucking dorks. They're nerds. Okay, but what about who was stalking you? Are we gonna... Strange. Are we gonna address that at all? Because we clearly know it wasn't Torga. You think it was Torga, but it wasn't. I, I think you're mistaken. A little bit. Does he mind, though? I'm into that. I don't know. Oddly similar circumstances. So this was a very long time ago because you're clearly like elementary school and you're even preschool. Who set this bull on everybody? Something something red hair and bull? Well, why would she remember you from that? I don't know about gentlemen. Well, yeah, yeah. Did wait? You staged that? You set the horse? I have to put her in danger again? Well, maybe okay. It just was you. Well, you're weird. Well, now she has found that out because she's in like a spy truck. Yeah, what the fuck? That's so funny. Well, it's still kind of fucked. I don't know. Just tell the whole school. Why not? Skill. What the fuck? Yo! I see this 4 times a day. Okay. But who set the kangaroo to be here? He did get cleaned up, though. He got his clock cleaned. Alright, Utena to the rescue. Nope. The strongest boss we've fought so far is a kangaroo. Bro is scary as fuck. He's perfectly smooth. Where'd you get the gloves? Saving the day. Okay. I like you in so much as you can serve me. It's heartfelt, I guess? Alright, here comes the goat. Hell yeah. It's what we've all been waiting for. Yeah, you uppercut that kangaroo. Knocking his mouth guard out. Look at that fucking Ippo shit. Let's go. Oh, Choo Choo. I forgot you were even in the show. The mics, too. This is a really funny episode. That's great. Okay. What are your parents gonna say about that? Alright. The most functional, dysfunctional family of them all. Yeah, he's got a hell of an uppercut. I'll give you that. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Um, I'll obviously have things to say about the episode, but it's not quite an episode 5 in terms of content. If anything, they're really showing their comedic chops. Like, this is a funny ass show. Even to a, like, absurdist slapstick end towards the end of the episode, it was fascinating. Um, and yeah, introducing a new character there. Suabuki, I think was what we were calling him. Of course, exploring an interesting dichotomy between, or at least for Nanami, between sibling and lover. Weird. And the responsibilities expected of both big brothers and little brothers. How simple acts of seemingly heroicism can be seen as creepy or stalkerish. Maybe that's a lens we could look at it through. I don't know. All I know is that the ED bangs, and that a kangaroo got uppercut. So it's a pretty good episode. If you want to watch a show where a dude with red hair uppercuts a kangaroo, Utena's the show for you. Alright, and this might be a jury thing. Yeah, okay. We'll pause. And yeah, I'll do a little bit of analysis on episode, whatever this is. Episode 6? That sounds right. So we're back, episode 6 in the bag, and all that came with it. A purely comedic episode, to basically my take on it, introducing a new character, I guess is its other point of utility. That being a Suwabuki Mitsuru, who is a blonde elementary school kid who admires Nanami and is currently her servant? Question mark? Probably should be followed by 2 more question marks, because that's a little bit fucking weird. But he seems to dig it, and that's okay. If he's consensual in it, then it's fine. He seemingly is joining their family. I don't know what the fuck that means, but he is. So, I don't know. This kid's gonna stick around, and he's probably gonna help. It's gonna be like Nanami's little manservant thing. That's a bit weird. I'm still a little bit confused as to the start of the episode where there was a tall, imposing figure seemingly following her that we saw. Was this just her mind playing tricks on her? And in fact, it was actually a young boy, a small young boy. Only time will tell there, I feel. But yeah, I mean, this is an anime episode. She kind of just carries by being a brat and being hilarious. So I love her. I'm basically am this character. Because, I admire her as well. I think that she's just a real fucking piece of work. And that's kind of my thing. So yeah, I guess I'll bring up the episode again and we'll go through it. I didn't think there was any real larger questions that I would need to write down as opposed to the overall show's message. Seems like a little bit of a cool down off the relatively dense episode 5. And seemingly we're going to be tackling jury next week, or not next week, next episode, so that may be a little bit deeper. If so, then this is a show that understands pacing, as I've said. Nice cool down episode. Give the characters something fun to do. Give Anshi some time off as well. She's just kind of out of this episode. It's kind of Miki and Utena providing most of the commentary, which I think's fun. That's cool. So we start episode 6 by kind of following Nanami around as she walks home. I get the feeling that she feels like something isn't quite right. Again, a couple of things have happened to her up to this point already. Kind of a pot plant falling near her head or something of the like, so that's pretty bad. She's on edge. We're firmly put in her point of view. Some nice slow zooms here into the darkness, as well as a predator-ish shot, a slow zoom back her way, before focusing in even harder right here. Showing the sweat, showing the nerves. You can't help but feel for Nanami in this situation. Even hearing the footsteps there in the foreground, and she decides it's time to leg it, which, again, is probably a pretty good idea. Running in those heels, though, I don't know about all that. She's just clearly very talented. Either way, she finally trips as she enters this little tunnel here. Almost gets hit by a car. We see this. Is this a forced perspective thing, or is this a fucking figment? Nah, that's definitely like a man. Look how big the shoulders are. Doesn't look like Suwabuki's frame. Either way, good guy, random car driving past, asks if she's okay, but then they just call her weird and drive off anyway. So I don't know. Poor Nanami, she must look out. I love this scene here. It's kind of the next day. They're just kind of having tea, a morning tea perhaps. And she describes what's been happening to her. It's not just that incident last night. Flower pot nearly fell on me, then a pile of logs. Then I think somebody tried to push me down the stairs. Mickey here says, what terrible luck. And then you hear that sound effect in the background, like a tea glass shattering, right? And it turns out it shattered because Nanami, like, bounded up onto the table to grab Torga's hand to convince him to kind of look for whoever this freak is. This is just so perfect. Oh my god. Like, jumps onto the table, kicks the glass to the ground. This must be the work of someone who's jealous of how cute, popular, and refined I am. It must be that. And Torge here is pretty dismissive, right? I think you've been reading too many mystery novels, that kind of thing. Maybe sets him up in Nanami's own head as somebody that doesn't really care, maybe because he's responsible. Either way, we get some introductory shots as we go to the next scene here of a baseball match taking place, right? And we kind of have the bully trio, Miki and Nanami, just kind of talking, right? right? Lamenting the fact that the brother is so cruel and doesn't care about her and whatever the hell. Doesn't take any real notice of what's been happening to her. Mickey's line here that sibling relationships are complex is packed with meaning, but I think we've already done enough Mickey for one day. We start to think like, maybe, have you done anything wrong to anybody that may want to actually hurt you based on one of your schemes or plans? The bully trio says that she never gets her hands dirty, right? It's like, you guys may be joking, but somebody may be gunning for my life at this very moment. Cue baseball hitting her in the face. You even heard the sound cue earlier of kind of the ball coming off the bat, right? You could kind of guess it was coming. Of course, now if we're Utena fans, we get to see Utena in a baseball uniform, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. She says, sorry about that, didn't think it would go that far. Doesn't know where the ball is, and Nanami begins to incorrectly infer that Utena has been the one that's been making these attempts on her life. Just, yeah, great comedic instincts here, like the ball staying attached to the face as she continues to do this overdramatic shoujo meltdown thing. Like, look at this. That's just fantastic. The arms here going crazy. In the slapstick department, we're just knocking it out of the park. All three girls needing to hold her back from absolutely wailing on Utena. And Utena, don't care, just give me back my ball so I can continue the game. Utena, Miki, and Nanami begin walking back to, I don't know, class or something. They don't seem to go to class very much. And Nanami is just right at it and says it. I happen to know you're making attempts to seduce my brother. It's like, nah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Utena may think some things that aren't really true, or maybe they are true. It's weird. But Torge is definitely interested in Utena, I can say that much, right? We saw that scene in episode 1 where he kind of looked through his spectacles and said, baby, or something. I remember that. However, this small tiff is interrupted with Mickey mentioning that there's somebody in the greenhouse, right? It says, keep out of the greenhouse, mostly for a pretty good reason in the end, but we'll get to it. These three quickly believe it's a secret rendezvous between Torga and Anshi. Have you done the deed? Such refuse has no right to live. Are you getting cold feet? It's too late for a change of heart. I could see where Nanami got the wrong intentions here, and initially I was like, is this describing something else that's very important to the plot? No, it's a joke. They're talking about bug spray and killing bugs. It's also kind of cute that Anshi doesn't want to kill the bugs, even though they're hurting the roses. Alright, that's kind of funny. No matter how much everybody despises you, a life is still a life. Maybe the problem will resolve itself if we simply bide our time. Cute. She just doesn't want to kill the bugs. Again, on the outside, Nanami is just freaking out. She can't deal with this. And this here is just great. I'll play it just pretty much verbatim, I think. Just from here, basically. Just that cut into that shot, into this kind of black and white background, right? They've put out that keep out sign for a reason, right? And then, these two on top of the school red rose as well. We're thinking about it. Thinking that, oh yeah, I see Nanami as a roadblock between these two getting together. Torga has been seduced by Auntie into killing his sister. Now she won't be in the way of our love. Again, it's just pure delusion. I love it. Of course, cutting the rose and dropping another pot plant on Nanami's head. Again, the metaphors are metaphoring. I like it a lot. Of course, Nanami the type to not stop and talk about anything and just go for the worst interpretation immediately. Like this face too, just so absolutely devastated at this revelation. Onisan, Baka, and then running away. Of course, Mickey and Utena are the ones to stick around and realize that, oh yeah, they're talking about bugs. Ticks in particular. I didn't know that ticks attach themselves to plants like that. I don't know, I was expecting some more like caterpillars and that kind of thing. Anyway, Nanami is now distraught, running away. Her beloved has betrayed her. Like that wide there, especially, right? Followed up with this too. They're kind of repeated motifs from earlier episodes, but I still really enjoy them. Of course, the absolute drama of it all and the dramatics provided by Nanami are a thing to behold. And then, yeah, this episode has a thing with fucking runaway animals, right? So there's a runaway horse that is already ridiculous. We go like a rule of threes. We go 2 steps even more ridiculous than that, ending up with a goddamn boxing kangaroo. And yeah, there's kind of this shot here, which is a little bit misleading. right here. Makes him look a lot bigger than he is. I was very surprised when I saw his actual height, put it that way. And even that voice there, that's not the right voice for the character. Like, that's just not Suwabuki's voice. Anyway, I'm imagining that Nanami's kind of Delulu, but that's fine. Either way, now Nanami sees that there's this kind of prince that has been looking out for her this whole time. He kind of left this handkerchief with her. Gets this kind of false memory here of this really shoujo tall looking guy helping her and stuff, right? Which is just not reality, right? But again, love blinds. The voice acting on this line in particular as well, there's a specific vocal inflection that is really nice. We see here, this is a nice little clue as well. I didn't notice this in the moment. This sign is pointing towards the elementary school before Nanami starts walking that way. That's another great clue there. Like, oh yeah, a bunch of elementary school kids just ran past, right? Like, look at them all. And then she's going up to what I'm guessing are the elementary school teachers and asking, where's this kid? Like, oh yeah, he might be that way. We finally see him in the shade of the tree. Looks like a spitting image of Miki for sure. And yeah, he's an elementary school kid, much to Miki's shock. And then we get the confession, and then it's weird. What are we doing? Again, you're just delusional and crazy and fucked, and you have a little scheme that's playing out. It's very, very weird from the outside looking in, though. And then we get the camping part, which is weird. I wanted to go back here and say something about curry favor. Who would have guessed there's a prince at this school who could curry favor with Nanami? And then we go and we make curry at the camp? I know that the pun probably isn't the same in Japanese, but is there a pun there is my question. Why else are they making curry in a camp? Do they just like Yuru Camp? Because I do. Is it about expectation versus reality because they start to eat the food and it kind of tastes like shit? But then they say, oh yeah, fresh air is fine. At least we're out here, right? So my expectation of my prince or my expectation of this curry flavor wasn't quite the way I wanted it to be. And once they finished, it's all being puppeted anyway. Like, Suwabuki's puppeting the situation to make himself look better. That's all I got for this. At least the Shadow Twins were there. They were pretty cool. And then straight off of that little segment there to another thing about them eating food with two separate instances of either character forgetting that they're talking about Nanami and not the food. Yeah, like just one side. Utena expresses concern at Nanami dating a elementary school kid. Miki says that she would never abandon Toga's affections or whatever. And Utena kind of questions the whole sibling angle as well. And Miki gives the explanation that she's already next to the best guy, so of course every other guy looks shit in comparison. But I mean, I feel like we know more about Toga than maybe the general populace of the school does. Again, just like funny episode. I don't know, Miki holding up some parsley. That's just pretty good content. After finishing the meal, we quickly spot that Nanami and Suwabuki are together. They actually are seemingly dating. However, looking at them like this, they look more like siblings than a couple, which has a lot of meaning attached to it and probably speaks to the future of the episode, which is you're kind of like the little brother now, which is strange, but sure. We get a number of different examples here of Suwabuki basically being Nanami's little manservant child thing. He basically brings her whatever she wants. They have tennis today, needs her tennis wear. Here's my tennis wear. Even though you're probably not allowed in the women's locker room, if I'm going to be real with you. Similarly, here's the solutions manual. I'm going to hide under your desk and show you the answers. Again, I feel like he's getting more out of this situation than he's letting on. But also he's like 10, so you know. He stands in as an easel as well for art class. In a very degrading way. And then this is the biggest question mark of the episode. Fucking Saionji appearing out of nowhere. Let's read this dialogue here again. No matter how much she may tyrannize him, he is simply happy to be near his beloved. That is one form of love. Love can manifest in different forms. I would classify the love between Anchi and I as a furtive love. And then nobody's paying attention to him. He reiterates a furtive love again, and then we tell him to fuck off. No one asked. You're literally Saionji, get out of my face. Now, what the fuck is a furtive love? Basically, secretive, exclusive. Okay, sure. The exchange diary thing is still kind of cute and is a reference to a previous episode, I believe. But you're also literally Saionji, so shut up. Then we have Suzuki something and Tanaka. What was your fucking names? Suzuki, Yamada, Tanaka. There's 3 dorks. They all want to date Nanami, right? She doesn't care about these fanboy dork idiots. And we're gonna sick the elementary school kid on them, right? Defend my honor, boyfriend. Appear before me and do thing. I hope these guys come back because they're fucking hilarious. Again, adding to this episode's comedic chops, Nanami then makes her way outside and starts to admire the blue sky and everything else in between. And in the back of my mind, I'm still like, well, you were still being stalked, so what happened to that? And yeah, one of these dudes ended up in the drink? What happened there? Like, look at this. Oh my god. They slumped him. It seems like both Nanami and Suwabuki are okay with what's been going on. However, Utena disapproves. You forgot to ask for consent from another person and she intervenes. You're essentially using him, which is probably not a good thing to do. But I think as long as he's okay with it, then it's kind of fine. I don't know. Weird one. Of course, you have some strong opinions about this based on the show's premise and on she and everything else, right? This isn't a relationship, it's a one-sided servitude thing. Themes of the show, for sure. I don't know what the pun here as well, right? Like, she keeps saying that, oh my god, my brother tried to murder me. Mickey's like, oh, well, you're mistaken. It's like, no, I am mistaken because this is my boyfriend. I wonder how the pun goes in Japanese there, but I liked it in the English sub. I think that's really good still. However, Nanami walks away, and we finally get some time with Suwabuki to actually see what he thinks. Why are you so in love with her? It turns out it was based on a fateful encounter earlier in my life, and her life as well. Me and Nanami met a long time ago, in a very similar way to the horse thing, which is a clue for later. We have a raging bull through the middle of town, and this bull is seemingly going to attack little child Nanami, as we could see there. Very young. The elementary school Suwabuki here, or preschool Suwabuki I should say, was running in and trying to save the day before Toga steps in and does something to the bull. Does he punch it? What the fuck even happened there? Yeah, why does the bull just fall over? I don't get that. Also, I'm thinking something with his red hair is making the bull, like, freak out. I don't know, I don't think Toga is entirely... I don't know, something's happening. Red hair, bull, is there something, anything in that? I don't know. Something weird's happening. Either way, I think the size differences are really weird here, right? Because, like, you're still in elementary school and very small. You're already built like you're already a high schooler. That's strange. However, the point of the scene is that Suwabuki saw how cool Toga was and wanted to train up to be like a heroic big brother, like that gentleman we saw. Toga the gentleman, he reckons. So you wanted to be her big brother and not her boyfriend? Again, sibling romantic implications are weird, but Nanami didn't remember me, even though I staged everything in a way that should have brought that day to mind, and then we put 2 and 2 together. You're the one that's been doing the stalking and the murderous attempts and everything, right? Grabbing a pot plant out of his hand as well, like, oh shit, you're the one that's been staging all this bullshit. That's kind of funny. So again, is there something in attempts to be heroic, attempts to show off this side of yourself and set up these situations for the ladies to swoon over you that are actually a little bit more dangerous for the ladies than we let on? Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe he's just a kid, like a literal kid this time, and we shouldn't take anything he's trying to do all that seriously. This is a fantastic joke, though. Oh my god. So Nanami is hearing this scene. How do we want to visually explain that? She's literally like in like a spy van listening in on a conversation. Like somebody's got a wire on. So it was all a hoax laid out by that little kid. And then lo and behold, the camera goes to a wide and we've been there the entire time, to the point where he's been speaking into a mic that is into this machine, the whole mic motif making its way through the rest of the episode, through to the end. However, Nanami heard everything. She's gonna, like, sick the kid, basically. And yeah, runs up to the mic, plugs it into the school PA. I don't want to hear some lame excuse. She's cool, I don't care. You guys could say whatever you want about Nanami, she's cool. And then yeah, because of you, I called my brother a meanie, and then oh my god, there's a kangaroo on the rampage. So, resident Australian here, I don't know if you guys know, I see like fucking a trillion kangaroos every day, just because of where I live, basically. And they're fucking harmless. They don't try to box you unless you try to box them. Like, what are you talking about? Like, when I go play golf, I'm like hitting a golf ball into like a fucking giant row of kangaroos. So, I don't know. I just think it's another step up the ridiculousness um, stage, right? It's honestly fucked. But I really like it as an addition. It's wildly entertaining. So then the rest of the episode plays out from here. Kangaroo has been set loose, I don't know by who, but is going to punch Nanami in the fucking head, and Suwabuki jumps in the way and gets his big noggin in there. So Suwabuki gets annihilated, but then Utena tries to pick up some piece of fucking scaffolding and kill the kangaroo too. And then she gets punched and falls back. And then he's standing imposingly over Miki and Utena. And oh my god, look at this. I think, okay, I'll talk about it here as well. All that stuff I said at the start of the episode about Miki being like a straight up villain, I do think that they're gonna redeem him. He's in the show. Look at this. He's so likable here. He's basically reflecting Utena, you know. So I think he's got a lot of growth here to go. Let's put it that way. I think that there's hope for this character yet. Not in the same way that there is for somebody like Saionji, who I think is borderline irredeemable. I don't know. Suwabuki picks up the pot plant from the previous scene and fucking pegs it at the kangaroo's head, so he's cool. Basically getting himself in the way of Miki Utena and, you know, taking the brunt himself. He even gets his own set of boxing gloves from somewhere. Yells out that he will be her little brother, or big brother for that matter, which is strange. However, Nanami's line here is kind of underrated. My brother is my brother and you're you. So you can never be him, but that's okay as well. I still care about you and the you are right now, not the you want to become, to the point where I'm going to get myself in the way of you and the kangaroo. That's pretty cool. I won't cry for you if you die doing something like this. So you need to live so I can cry for you? Sure. Why? Because Suwabuki, you're my valued servant. Of course, sure. And yeah, we're running away from the kangaroo. It's bounding behind and gaining ground. We need a hero to save the day. Lo and behold, here he is. Here's Torga the Chad, who's going to uppercut the kangaroo, knock its mouth guard out, and save the day. Look, it's fucking Ippo, dude. Choo Choo rings the bell, and the boxing match has been ended. I should have mentioned before that the kangaroo kind of bounced from the corner of a boxing arena as well, which was insane. Again, it's a comedy basically. Like the space itself doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, the lean into absurdism and slapstick and stuff has been very fun this episode. Reminds me a lot of episode 4 as well. Just Nanami getting into increasingly ridiculous situations. I don't know, it's just fun. It really is establishing a tone for the show and its comedy that I'm really vibing with. Anshi is finally in the episode as well. She finished exterminating the pests in the Rose Garden, which is cool. Look at this guy's stare as well. Oh my god. He's crazy. And she's just very surprised. And we kind of end on a weird note. So Nanami breaks up with Suwabuki and he says, okay, sure, but now that we've broken up, I want to be adopted into your family? Where are your parents? Where is anybody's parents? What is happening? And then, yeah, okay, so now we have a weird dichotomy where it's like, okay, I like you, and you like you, so we're kind of rivals in a weird way? I'm literally beefing with a fucking 10-year-old? What is happening? And yeah, Kiryu Toga. Like I thought, he's no ordinary guy. He looks back at the camera, and that's the note we end the episode on. He's the type of guy to fucking fist fight a kangaroo. He's cool. I don't know. So yeah, basically that's it. I'm probably going to give another episode a watch now, seemingly a jury thing, but I'll probably go grab some water as well, try to get this voice under control. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'll see you in a second for episode 7. Radio, I have episode 7 of Revolutionary Girl Utena up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 28 seconds on this one, so please sync up accordingly. As always, have the picture-in-picture version, same subs and everything. So just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. And there we go. I feel like I sound so different. I don't know. I should probably stop stressing about stuff like that. It's just how I sound today, that's fine. So we've had our goofy episode. I wonder if we go for 2 in a row, or this one we start to lean a little bit more serious again. From that small bit of the preview I saw, we're doing a little bit more of the fencing thing, which is fun. They're just really rolling around in the grass. Can't blame them, really. Yeah, haven't got a lot of Juri yet, right? She seems very graceful. I'll give her that. Also, the prince awakens and then this starts in the opening. Odd. Odd. I've got a lot of suspicions about the opening being spoilerific, let's say. Hello. Give up on what? Okay, interesting. Surely we'll go back to that and re-examine with some more context. Get dominated? The goat? She's pretty intense. How about you? You got her. I remember that. What is her impossible dream? Why does she want this revolutionary power? Questions that need answering. Arisagawa? Okay. But is that what I really want? Don't know. Okay. At least there's teachers at this school. I was a little bit questioning that. Yeah, contrast. Awesome. I love that this teacher's back too. Not Choo Choo. Oh my god. Yes. Did she just peg Choo Choo? Okay. Sure. Is it about the Rose Bride thing? And now we're meeting eye to eye a little bit? Yeah, I need to catch my friend. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. Okay. She gets what she wants. Odd. Okay. And that's how you're going to get to actually talk to her. Seems like you always get your fucking way. That was weird. They're both suspicious. Yeah, a miracle, huh? We'll say. But why? Prickly on the outside, soft on the inside, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, what kind of power do you have? Who's to say? Oh, and they're like doing swords too. There she is. Hey. Oh, she's so cute. Yeah. The power of miracles. And you said it was a miracle that you were able to get out of that anyway? Utena just doesn't see the seriousness of it all. Huh. 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 Fascinating. Sure. I I feel like she wasn't telling you the whole story there. Okay. Anshi Slapper. How dare you? Now, I think I saw a rose back in that flashback. Now we're doing the egg thing. Sure. Yeah, it seems like Jiri isn't afraid to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Let's say that. I feel like there's more drama there than say a Sionji. Then I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna read the fuck out of that. Okay, interesting. This is very fun too. And Jiri just doesn't care. Focused on other things. Yeah, talk to me. I love her design already. Look at the flower. Of course I did. I'm the goat. Who the fuck are you? That's just boy. Hmm. I love that the two cups there. That too. It's the same metaphor. Okay. Seems like she kind of got shit on. Sucks to be Juri. I'm gonna be real. She's also fabulous. Yeah, more than a little bit envious. Eyes are closed. Oh shit. Alright, so she likes the girl, but she likes boy. But boy liked Judy, but then girl did some fuckery. I think that's what I'm seeing. Is that Choo Choo? Oh, we're walking around like a child, trying to get him to fall asleep. You know how you put a child in the back seat and kind of drive him around? Oh, and this is straight after that. Interesting. Yeah, she looks elegant. What are you trying to say? Yeah, it's kind of my character design. Yeah, talk about that. Yep, that's the backstory. I think she relates to something like that a little more than you know. Oh, bit of a destiny element. What? Yeah, I thought she would be pissed. She's going there. Okay. All right, Choo Choo to the rescue. Nope. Okay, we don't need that. Choo Choo's still fucking dead. Gotcha. Okay. This is very, very complex. That's pretty complex too, but in a different way. It's also cute. I don't know. Are we doing the thing? Maybe? It doesn't feel like it's time to do the thing. I mean, you're right. Zoos aren't great. They're cool animals. What are you talking about? Okay, and they're in like a zoo enclosure? That was a bit fucking weird. Yeah, okay, we're dueling. But it's less for, Anchi in that. It's more for, fuck you, Utena. You're a piece of shit. You still believe in miracles and whatever the hell. Yeah. I'm more like, this is a weird reason to duel, but it's cool. It informs both characters, I think. I wonder what. Yeah, all this talk about miracles and true nobility from Judy probably needs another good look or a good re examining. Excuse me. Sorry. Not quite 100%, as I'm sure you guys have deduced from the voice and the coughing and everything else. Sure. Okay, Utena, what you got for me? Alright, we'll have more lyrics here too, which is going to be fun. Yeah, Power of Miracles, huh? What else has been this, like, Prince stuff? Alright, let's grab that sword. I think that's the power to revolutionize the world. Cool. Alright, get shit on. Does she have, like, a fencing sword? Kinda. Dark Souls 1 rapier user. Yeah, I want to learn more about that. Like, a lot more. Any minute now. She's mega evolving? Odd thing to say. Alright, we're still winning. No, we've gotten it worse. Yeah. Something weird is going on, you guys. I got a feeling. What else could you call that if not a miracle? From that castle, you reckon, huh? Yeah, but that's still gonna make me feel mad. It's gonna remind me of, yeah. Alright, there is way more content for you, Jury, for sure. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? Oh, and I'll talk about it. But, like, if I gain this power, what will I use it for? Yeah, cut you out of the school photo and keep you in a locket. Oh my god. Yeah. She likes you, like, a lot. Interesting. Yeah. It's like, okay, I want the power to revolutionize the world to prove that there's no chance of a miracle ever existing, right? But what if I get the power? Will I still pursue that thing which I know is impossible? Which again, I'm sure that you know, non-heterosexual women are probably relating to this a little bit more than I am. Let's say straight male, by the way. Never been in a situation where I like somebody and it's literally impossible for them to like me back. You know. Um. So I don't know. It's a weird one. It's really weird. But it's fascinating. I think there is going to be a ton of content about this character. There just has to be. It's brimming with interesting things they can say. I think she's justified in a lot of her rage at Utena as well. At least in her own mind. Obviously not going about it the best way, but that's just room for growth, baby. I like that. Alright, give me a little taste. No you're not. No you're not. Okay. Are we going? This seems pretty comedic next week. Alright, we'll leave it there. That's funny though. Yeah, a little bit of analysis on episode 7. Yeah, sure. And there we have it, folks. Episode 7 in the bag as well. And I think we've been introduced to one of the most interesting characters, at least initially yet, in Juri, in a real way. The first thing I wanted to highlight here is that I said Juri is interested in Mickey, like romantically, or just friends. Probably not romantic, based on the revelations of this little episode here. Unless she's bi, she can be bi, that's fine. But I'm gonna say that she's interested in girls first and foremost, which Mickey is not. But speaking back on that episode, why is she so concerned with Mickey not wasting his talent? Or you suit the piano better? What is that to that end of, based on what we know so far? I don't know. I do not know. Maybe we'll find out more as we go. And I've just written a little bit here. I'm really need to really hash out the details of what actually happened. Again, I'm pretty sure it's just like she likes girl, girl likes boy, boy likes Juri. It's a weird love triangle, right? Uh, girl is deceitful and lies in order to get with boy. And does not realize Juri's feelings for her, I guess, or just doesn't care because she might not be interested in girls. So I don't know. You need a miracle to make this work. I see where that kind of turn of phrase is coming from in that regard, right? But more Juri's role in the story, right? I think it's the clash with Utena's idealism, right? Juri is clearly bitter and resentful, and the wounds of what has happened are still too fresh for her to see any other perspective, right? That's why she's a little bit dramatic. That's why she goes for the slap, which has been a sticking point for me of you're a bad boy if you go for the slap, right? I think we're seeing enough relatable content around her to be like, hey, the slap not okay, but I understand where you're coming from. But not okay. We're not condoning that at all. And yeah, seeing Utena be like a literal chosen one at the very end of the episode must make her so fucking mad. It's crazy. Like, Utena, you saw the flashes with the prince. Again, keeping an eye on it. Is it metaphorical? Is it literal? It's probably both at the same time. Crazy. I don't think Juri saw the prince, though, is my point. And the sword literally falling from the upside down castle, I'm guessing. Why do they care about Utena's chosen one status? Why do they care about her producing a miracle here in order to win? Is Utena important? I don't know. I do not know. And yeah, I'm kind of leaving it there until I go through the episode again. There's much more to be uncovered with regards to this character with Juri And I'm going to leave a lot of that for the show to do instead of trying to beep, 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 kind of fucking hyperanalyze stuff super early. I think that's probably the best way to look at it. Seems like an early favorite, though. I'm already really liking her. So now we're starting here with the first lines of the episode. And so, I have no choice but to give up. Now we see more what this is in relation to. It almost seems like a younger Juri as well, less of the full-on curls in the hair. After all, in this world, there are no such thing as miracles, so therefore I have to give up. Lady, girl, is covering my eyes. I'm going behind your back, and you can't see up here, but she's kissing boy. So, you know, sucks to be you. Flash forward to current day, we have Juri just slaying for a start, but then like absolutely destroying everybody at fencing. Like she's out for vengeance. She's bitter, twisted, and maybe hyper focused on fencing in the wake of everything, right? Defeating that many in a row, you never cease to amaze. No one's a match for you anymore, Juri. And what good will that do me? Can it help me crack the world's shell? So deeply invested in the motivations of the student council is Juri, right? She wants to crack the world's shell, therefore revolutionizing the world, right? Give birth to revolution, crack world shell, break. You gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, and blah, 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 blah. She's in. She's in with whatever the student council end of the world jargon thing is. She's also grasping very strongly onto this little locket, as we learn later in the piece, right? She still harbors feelings for this girl, despite everything, right? I cut her picture, her school picture, out of the big, wide, everybody in school picture, right? And put it in a locket close to my heart. I still like her, like a lot. And therefore, it's Juri's impossible dream, right? Again, she likes boys. I'm not boy, right? This must talk to some element of the whole prince discussion later with Utena, right? Like invested in somebody that is outwardly portraying male aspects, right? I don't know. She wears that student council uniform. She's very similar in that regard. But then when she meets with Utena later on, she's wearing a very stylish dress. There's something there too. Yo, this character might be fucking nuts. I don't know. We start the episode proper by kind of panning down to the, courtyard of the school before panning back up to the windows, right? We have Asawagawa? Asawagawa? Was that who was saying it was? Arisugawa. There we go. Arisugawa, you done a good job with the student council. All the other teachers were very impressed. They said it went much better than previous years. You did great. Why don't we discuss more student council plans over lunch? Says vice principal, I think this is. She says yes, just wait here a moment, leaving Juri alone, leaning against the window, and overhears this entire conversation being kind of mirrored over here with Utena, right? We're setting up contrast and comparing between Juri and Utena. Oh man, think about it through this context, right? Utena is the unwilling recipient of so much of Anshi's love, right? And she's like, no, I don't want it, right? Here's this flat. Yeah, no, I don't want it, right? Well, she wants it in so much as she wants to keep Anshi safe, but she's not interested in girls, I don't think. She even says so before. But do we believe her? There was some stuff about the stage direction. Anyway, more stuff for further in the show. This must be so frustrating for Jiri, right? Like, you have exactly what I want, and you don't need it. How fucked up is that? Right? How fucked up is that? There's a lot of drama here for sure. And of course, we're comparing and contrasting such a cordial relationship with that vice principal, and then we get the same really screechy teacher from before, but in kind of a funny way, who she's brought Choo Choo to the grounds, or more accurately, Choo Choo brought Utena lunch, and that was against the rules, and she's getting scolded for it. Continues trying to berate her, but Choo Choo kind of escapes, and then we're chasing him down. And as that teacher is chasing around Choo Choo, Juri and Utena become acquainted. However, Utena is currently kind of busy, and that kind of thing. So, with the whole Choo Choo running around situation and has to dash. However, Juri basically manipulates the fuck out of the vice principal here and says that, hey, vice principal, you wanted to talk to that female guidance counselor? right? Why don't you do that over lunch? Like, you were just telling me how you wanted to talk to her over lunch, right? Like, gaslighting the fuck out of him. Arasagawa, what do you mean? You and I are going for lunch, right? I won't repeat myself. That will be all. And then off he goes. Damn. So what's going on there? Is that just your authority in the school? What is that based on? Or is that something else? I don't know. Weird. Weird. Okay, weird. The vice principal successfully gets that teacher away. Choo-Choo is suspicious, as is Utena, right? What a relief. That's what I call a miracle. You done fucked up and you don't even know it yet. So even in middle school, they talk about you, right? You have to remember that Utena's in middle school. Fencing club captain and brilliant student council member that even the teachers bow down to. And Jury basically says here that the rumors are true. Like, you can't underestimate underclassmen's ability to gather info. That's basically a confirmation, right? But there's also this rumor of her wild side, I guess, as well. Her being a bit of a delinquent. You don't want to get on the wrong side of her. She will fucking beat you up. As we see in the middle of the episode, Utena finds that out. They get to talking about sword fighting briefly, and they're both very modest about it, let's say. Then we get to talk about the student council. Are you interested in the Rose Bride and all that stuff? Well, do you know the reason they're after the Rose Bride, Utena? It's thought that whoever is engaged will attain the power of miracles, the power to revolutionize the world. Specifically, power of miracles, right? And Utena doesn't really care about the severity of all of that, right? That sounds pretty cool. Since I'm engaged to her right now, I'd love to have that power. It could help me in tests and stuff. But then, yeah, turns right back around, looks at Judy. Are all of you serious about fighting these stupid duels over him and Mia? And then, yeah, this one shot here, right? Right here. The flower. The flower is the big indicator, right? This is the first time we've seen this. It gives you an indicator why she does what she does to Anshi later on. Like, are you really doing these duels over him and me for something as frivolous as what Utena perceives it as? And then we see this one flash. Now, this is way more important than you even know. You're right, it really is stupid to fight over the Rose Bride, says Judy, right? Believe in miracles so that your wish may come true. This is the voice of the girl telling Judy that. She must have had her absolute hopes dashed by that, right? And then, of course, no, there's no such thing as miracles. I'm going to be participating in order to prove that. Yeah, Utena weirdly says, seems like we're on the same page here, right? When early in the scene she said, that seems like a miracle. Odd. I don't know. I didn't show up before, but Utena kind of waved down at Anshi and she comes up with a rose, supposedly for Utena, right? Or maybe not. Maybe she always intended it for Judy, right? Either way, Utena's off. She's like, I'm glad someone on the student council has some sense. And then we get this, right? And then slap. Slap to face. Of course, yeah, again, we see more Rose in some of this flashback stuff before, right? Like, believe in miracles and the Rose and all that, right? So, I see why she went for slap. Slap's still bad. We do not condone slap. Don't be full of yourself, she says. Walks away. That kind of Rose slides down the wall. But yeah, I mean, what you get from that scene is that there's a lot of angst. A lot of angst. We do the whole introduction of the student council thing again. Break the world shell, get the revolution egg, or whatever the hell. Okay, so this is basically what has happened so far is the way that I see this, right? So Tenjo Utena versus Saionji down here. We get another rematch. There's a battle. He's on the road to Loser Town, which is true. She's pretty good is the little annotation here. A guy that doesn't know when to quit. It's also true. Apparently a new duel must be held by the end of the week. Now Utena's on a 2-win streak now that she's beaten Miki, right? Or a 3-win streak, excuse me, right? Yeah, this is just like a cute thing that they've set up to show the battles so far. Either way, End of the World says duel by the end of next week. We nominate Judy, essentially, right? Just like the rest of us, she keeps this position to duel. Well, I know she's eligible and skillful, but does she have a reason to fight? And yeah, we get the exposition here from Torga. Judy wants to disprove the power of the Rose Bride, the power of miracles, right? Wants to prove that miracles can never happen. Or is she holding on to that one little bit of hope that maybe after possessing this power of miracles, that she can make a miracle to make her beloved love her or something, right? I don't know, there's drama there for sure, either way it goes. And yeah, Torg is really pressing this button, like, is this really what you want? Wouldn't you instead want your unrequited to become requited? Wouldn't that be great? The whole time throwing these, they look like protractors or something, right? Straight at Mickey, who's kind of like dodging by moving and like that, right? Oh, I've got him perfectly silhouetted with the protractors. Kind of math theme with you too, which is fun. It's just a great little bit of visual accompaniment to the scene. I really like it. Again, this scene would have been compelling if it was just three characters sitting around a table with front on shots, right? But they go the extra mile to make it visually interesting as well. They think that's just wonderful. And the whole time she's just kind of looking off in the middle distance, minding her own business with all these protractors, like kind of, or set squares, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of flowing overhead. It reminds me a little bit of the the two cups in the string, right? There's a word for it. I don't know, some kind of telephone. It reminds me of that, just kind of caught blindsided a little bit, thinking about other stuff. Yeah, using this moment here to reminisce. She was in love. It's true. With purple hair girl, with purple eyes. Very cool. Hello, boy. We also have boy here. Brown hair, blue eyes, boy. White rose, think about it. And yellow rose for you. She's also, I don't know, man. It's something about taking off the helmet. I like that. I like that a lot. Either way, they're both doing fencing. One's in the boys' club, one's in the girls' club, but she's good enough to piece it up with the boys. She's pretty good. And yeah, we have girl. Here's Rose. Believe in miracles so that your wish may come true. But even then, I knew that this love would never go anywhere. We see the eyeline here of tall boy, past jury, right? To girl. That was her favorite phrase for me to believe in miracles. And yeah, this is her when she gets home looking at her photo. This is her class photo, which she has taken out the image of the girl she likes and put it in the locket, right? He doesn't say it, but I do think you were always first in his thoughts, Judy. This is from a letter as well, right? That we receive after the fact. Even so, I couldn't help but want to steal him from you, which is a little bit of Rosebride stuff as well, right? Stealing other people's lovers and that kind of thing. Maybe you could become the thing you hate in the process of participating in the duels. Time will tell. Even though you're better than me at everything, my feelings for him are at least my feelings for him are. And then, yeah, spreading the thing, Jury's in love with someone else, and it's not you. Therefore, I steal boy. Even though what she said is technically not true. She is in love with someone else. That other someone else is you. And yeah, I have absolutely no regrets about stealing him from you. Oh, darling, that's not the problem here. The problem is you, I feel, right? Am I misreading this? Yeah, I mean, she keeps her in the locket. She's clearly interested in you. No, you're misinterpreting it. You didn't you didn't you didn't steal her man. You were her man. Do you get what I'm saying? And yeah, this was the extension of what we saw very early in the episode as well. You must hate me for being this kind of person, the person that would steal boys from you. She still doesn't get it. However, it would never work. I can't explain it to her, right? So yeah, receiving this letter that's like, oh yeah, no hard feelings, haha, and then like Jury going to kind of reply to it, right? As I read the words in this letter, I can't help but realize how much time has passed. Back then, the three of us did everything together. It was truly fun. But now, when I look at the two of you beaming with happiness, it makes me feel nostalgic. It makes me feel envious. And then smashes everything, right? Don't want to think about it. Obviously didn't send that letter. In the school photo, she's closing her eyes. This came as a blindside to Julie, what happened between the other two. And basically, I don't know, she got her love taken away by some guy. I don't know. That sucks. A very, very complicated love triangle for sure. I didn't talk about it as much as I potentially could have. I love the visual language in this segment showing off how, I guess, content Jury is with the whole situation, or needing to be content, right? Just noticing this kind of happening, the communication between the other two, the boy and the girl, and not being able to do anything about it. So obviously we have the kind of string phone idea between the two cups, and she's being left out of that conversation. But she can see it's going on, but she's being left out of that conversation still. In a similar way, in a more obvious way, we have the shot where the girl has her hands over Jury's eyes as they're sharing a kiss. And then, of course, the school photo as well, her closing her eyes off in the corner of the picture, right? almost trying as hard as possible to get as far away from them because it hurts too much. Just, yeah, I guess the subtext of Juri being in the closet as well, and, well, she isn't out, right? And it'd be very, very hard to explain how she feels when she's not out of the closet, because it would involve coming out of the closet as well as confessing your love, which I would have to imagine is maybe one of the most nerve-wracking things anybody can do. So she's going to have to be content with how it is. That's the tragedy of the situation. Somebody clue me in on the kind of Roman and Greek statue motif here. Maybe there's something there that I'm not seeing. Weird. Essentially, Utena is like, she's gotten in the car and she's got the baby in the baby seat, and we're driving around the baby until it falls asleep. That's the goal here. The baby being Choo-Choo in this situation, of course. And yeah, we see Arasagawa senpai, or Juri, just kind of sitting on the edge there, right? Oh, I didn't recognize you, you're out of uniform. And in a lovely dress, as opposed to Utena, who's still in that prince uniform, right? You look so gallant in the student council uniform, right? I bet everyone would be really surprised if they saw you in such ladylike clothes. I don't know, man. I'm not entirely confident in speaking about this kind of stuff, but there's definitely something there, right? Like, you're extremely ladylike right now. I'm wearing princely stuff. Like, of course, that we're being separated into gender roles right now, right? Of course, Utena is the object of Anshi's affection, and I couldn't be the object of my love's affection, right? And then, yeah, we start to tell the intro about the prince and the truth of it all, right? Again, you know the story. When I was young, met a prince, said I didn't want to lose my strength and nobility, so gave me this ring. That inspired me to want to copy the prince rather than become his princess. I just remember the prince looked so cool, I want to see him again. I want to be as much like him as I can, so I wear this. Sorry, you must think that this is a really weird story, but I don't believe what the student council says about the Rose Bride and the power of miracles. So you don't believe in miracles, right? As we established earlier. And yeah, oh, it's so great that somebody on the student council agrees with me in so much as miracles not being real. When in reality, by the end of the episode, we see literally a miracle happen, and she doesn't not like miracles in the same way you don't like miracles, right? It's a lot of baggage. And then, yeah, Judy kind of goes for the sucker punch here, right? Leaning in to the male Utena in her female clothes. Odd. Or princely Utena, I guess I should say. Throw away your rose seal, you make me sick. She essentially snaps, right? All these feelings of resentment and bitterness are outwardly portrayed here. Utena's idealism does not ring through to the, you know, to somebody that's been through some shit. That so-called nobility of yours is just a cheap act you put on to impress a guy you like. Yes, fighting over the Rose Bride is just as stupid as your feelings for your prince. Like, you are still holding on to what is essentially a miracle with the prince, right? So I need to snuff that out. You don't deserve to wear the seal. Like, the rose seal wasn't meant for little girls like you. Continues to hold on to it, but this is my only link to him. I need to contain it, or retain it, I guess. It's like, well, shit, show me an alleged miracle, right? If I see a miracle, then I'll stop doing what I'm doing. I'll expose the truth of it with my sword. I'll tell you that miracles don't exist. Oh, so this is fun too. When Juri sees the miracle at the end of the episode, she can start to believe that miracles can maybe exist as well. Okay, so it's kind of a weird thing where it simultaneously gives her a little bit of hope whilst also dashing her abilities to gain the Rose Bride and the power of revolution and blah, 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 blah. So in the process of losing, she still kind of proves some of her thesis, if what we saw is literally a miracle. I've still got some suspicions that whoever's in that castle, whatever the prince is a little bit more responsible than we're letting on. And as this is happening, we just kind of have Anshi doing her own thing with the fingered rabbits, I guess. And yeah, now we move into Shadow Twins plus Apocalypse Destiny and all that stuff. Now, clue me in on what the fuck a zoo has to do with any of this. Like, I can't tell you what's going on with the zoo there. I got nothing for you. And then, yeah, moving to this sequence we've seen before. I'll watch through it again and tell you if I notice anything. It turns out not much. I didn't see much through there that really caught my eye again. As I said last night, if you win using the power of miracles, you're entitled to your conceit. Miracles or not, I'm not losing to you. We'll say. White Rose. We get the Utena grabbing the sword thing again, power to revolutionize the world, the power of Dios. And yeah, specific touch here that I really like is like the light of the sword comes down and it touches the rose seal here as well, maybe indicating something, I don't know. Now we have a new song, new lyrics, of course. We have kind of this rock and guitar thing going on as well. Vocals very similar, of course, but yeah, I like the sound of this one. It was pretty good. It soundtracked the fight well, I thought. Universal Light, Mosaic Light, Child of Daybreak, Angel Lucifer. Okay, what the fuck? Light, Angel, Devil, Daybreak. Okay. Apocalyptic Light, Michael's Light? Like Saint Michael? Okay, Lucifer, Michael, Archangels, Good and Evil, Apocalyptic Light, Child of Darkness, Androgynous? Oh my god. Of course, I shouldn't undervalue the fighting. It's obviously very good. Utena's really found a match here, with Juri obviously being the better fighter. Fire's Light, Heavenly Light, the Hierarchia of the Heavens. Okay, there's different levels to the heavens of the fight between good and evil. Of course, the angel and kind of heavenly motif invoking the miracles idea, for sure. Illusory light, eternal light, fanciful machination, capricious birth? Like what? Like Capricorn? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know. Nyx, Erebus, Uranus, and Thanatos, sure. This is some fucking something. Is this Roman or Greek? I'm bad at this. Either way, like a godly motif. Miracles, gods, heaven, earth, light. Lots of light. I had a little bit more of a look into the gods that were mentioned as well. So Nyx, Erebus, Uranus, and Thanatos. Nyx is god of night or darkness. I think it's darkness. Let me check real quick. Yeah, the god of night. There you go. The personification of the night. And then you have Erebus, which is the underworld. And then you have Uranus, which is god of the sky. And then you have Thanatos, which is death. So again, it's a lot of the contrasty stuff we'll see later in the song as well, right? But with a darker edge to it. The dark side of godhood representing the darker side of miracles, which potentially proves they don't exist. I don't know, there's more here to the gods chosen specifically, I feel. Body shining bright, spherical in shape. Genus, born into every possible miracle. Genus, the principle of pleasure, the principle of nirvana. What the fuck are we talking about? Death's inevitability, in other words, the light. The difference between dark and light, as we've talked about. Without having lived, the moving phenomenon of life. In the cerebral universe, the shape of a life adrift. Luminosity, an avatar seeking eternity. In other words, the imperfect return to the origin. Male and female, positive and negative, both are me. Yo, now we're getting somewhere. Light and dark, male and female? Anything to that? Like this opposite thing? Androgynous is a lyric before as well. But then there's this religious and godly tone to it all. This need for a miracle to make this happen. Up and down, left and right, both are me. Front and back, heaven and earth, both are me. Angel and devil, both are me. Inside I'm hollow, 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 hollow. And then hollow, 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 hollow. Sword falls from fucking nowhere. And bang. So that's the end of the song. Because I fall into both camps on a binary opposite negative, I am hollow? Or am I hollow because of something else? Who is singing then? Is this how Julie feels about herself? Because obviously not something that I believe, not for a second. But what am I meant to take out of any of this? I think the lyrics are very interesting in concept, but obviously not as direct as some of the other shows I've watched. But I feel like I'm getting a lot of the way you're feeling about it, for sure. I'd love a religious tinge to your backstory, too. I think that'd be fucking interesting as. Either way, you probably noticed they skipped past a pretty important part as well. So I'll go back and have a look. Hey, it's me again. I know I'm kind of yapping today. But specifically the lyrics androgynous and the lyric male and female something something both are me. Do we want to talk about that at all, guys? Because I know what that means in a 2024 context. I don't want to rush too ahead on what Jury may identify as, but maybe it's a point of discussion that we could potentially talk about. I don't know if it'll be explored in full details in the show, because it feels like something I would have heard about. But yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. I noticed those lyrics too, don't you worry. So what Judy may identify as may come up later. We'll see. Yeah, Judy's pressing the advantage. Pitiful that you're already spent, but I won't let you off. When's that miracle happening, oh prince? And we see kind of this shot come down here, right? Like from the heavens down, like here, right? So look at the castle, float on down, right into Utena, right? And then we see her like trading places with that prince. Very interesting. Didn't lead to a victory here, though. We needed to fall for some other miracle bullshit. As this is happening, obviously replaying these memories in her head is Julie. You must hate me because I'm this kind of person, because I stole him from you. Believe in miracles was your favorite thing to say, but there's no such thing as miracles. And yeah, using that as like the final push to basically show her advantage, right? She's won the fight here. And again, random act of bullshit, random miracle leads to her failure. I do love Archie like no-selling it as well. Like, oh yeah, I expected this to happen. May your wish come true one day, reflecting earlier in the episode where Archie was passing her a rose. I feel very similarly to what Archie said about Mickey. It isn't very similar to the kiss-off she gave to Seonji. That's my point here. Mind your own business, refusing the rose, you're still not my thing. You're still not my radiant thing in a lot of ways. In the end, do you admit that that was a miracle? Who's to say, says Judy, but if she really does have the power to revolutionize the world, I will take it from her with my own hands. I'll prove that miracles don't exist, or I will gain this power and make a miracle exist for me to be with my beloved. Yeah, will your secret wish be granted? Again, Torga knowing more than he lets on, the secret wish being demonstrated here. We get that same dialogue again. You probably hate me for being this kind of person that would steal a boy from you, right? It's like, yes, I do hate you, but I didn't cut out the picture of you, did I? You don't even know what my wish is. I love girl. I would love to meet the person that didn't instantly clock in that you were the object of Judy's affection and not the boy. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, closing the locket, ending the episode there. Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable with that one, but I'm very intrigued for more on the zoo stuff. What are we talking about there? For more on the song lyrics, which I think are fascinating, especially if you've got an opinion or a position that is similar to Judy's. I want to hear some personal insights there. That'd be great. And of course, the stuff with the costumes as well when they're talking of a night, Utena and Judy. I think that'd be great if you wanted to give me any extra stuff there. But this episode was great. She's easily become one of my favorites very quickly. Yeah, this show continues to be fucking really good. If I can get my screen stuff set up right. Yeah, it's amazing. Again, sorry for my voice over the past few episodes. But hopefully we're feeling better next week. I'm not feeling bad at all. It's just all nasally and shit. But yeah, fascinated with this shit. I would expect one episode next week unless something crazy happens. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching and stuff. Hopefully I made some insightful points and that kind of thing. I don't know. Just going to do some chill stuff, so if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord. Discord. And I will be back next week for more Revolutionary Girl Utena. Thank you for watching with me here today. Don't forget to comment. And I'll catch you guys later. Cheerio. Bye-bye.